Okay, so I want us to quickly work on the model that allows us to basically work on, or basically have the opportunity to select from a bunch of options before we can basically perform that particular action, right? So what do I mean by that? If we basically come and then click on that button, the three button, I don't know why it's being like this. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, this is still weird. Try to zoom out. Okay, nice one. So I just zoomed out. So when we click on this and you see the three dots, when we click on the three dots and we come and click on this delete button, we want to be able to bring up the modal that allows us to select a bunch of options or perform this confirmation, something for us to be able to just proceed with the action, right? So yes, let's quickly work on the modal UI. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is inside the profile drawer here, what we want to do is we want to say, we want to create this use state, and this use state is going to be confirm open set confirm open, like this, and then we would say what use state. All right, then we set it to true for now, right? We would set it to false. By default we always set it to false, but since we want to see our model being made or being edited in real time, that is why we are setting it to true. All right, so right after understanding how we are working this out, we want to come and then wrap this whole part of our application inside an empty fragment like this. Then we would just I'll just cut it off like this from this line, come and paste it right here, then right below this opening empty fragment here, I'm going to add this modal component that we are about to create, and then we want to pass in an is open prop here, and this is open prop is going to be what confirm open, like this. Okay, then we can add an onclose as well, and this onclose is going to be a set what, so it's going to be a set confirm open to be equal to false, like this. Nice and clean. Now we are obviously going to get the error because we do not have the modal component set over here. So what we'll do is I'll just collapse everything, and then inside the app, oh no, I didn't mean to move it. Let's do my control Z and everything should be back. I didn't mean to move it, to be honest. I don't know how that got moved. Okay, let me try to bring it back. Oh, come on. So okay, so I'm going to quickly pause the video and fix this whole situation. So yeah. Okay, so we are back at where we left off. So we have the modal is not defined, and all we need to do is, I said that we had to collapse everything, then come into the app over here, then we'll go into the components that is here, and then we come and create what modal.tsx like this. Then inside we'll say RAFCE, it will bring up the snippets, and all we have to do is to just hit enter. Okay, the snippet is not showing, so it's doing the thing it was doing. Okay, so it's here. All right, then right after accepting the snippet like this, what we will do is we'll go into the so I think where exactly were we? So I think the profile drawer. right? We'll go into the profile drawer like this, and we can simply import this modal like this. Okay, so right after importing it, we are still going to face the error, and that is clearly because you've not written anything inside the model that would allow us to receive these props that we have passed in here. All right, let's quickly scroll down to the trash icon, so that once we click on the trash icon, it will basically show the model. So I'll just say, sorry, for the trash icon like this, I want to give it the size of 20 here. All right, so 20. Then let's pass the, so you can see that this on click right here that wraps around the other div that wraps around the trash. What we want to do is you can just clean this, and then we see what set confirm open to be what, to be true, to be true like this. All right, now we are good to go basically. So knowing that this is all set up like how we want it to, let us quickly come into the model here. Now the first thing is, let's make sure that this is a use client component over here like this. So use client, and right after, we are good to continue. Alright, so the first thing right after defining that it's use client is we want to be able to define the interface. So we see what interface, and the interface is going to be what, modal props like this. And then this modal props is basically going to take in what is open, that is going to be an optional boolean like this. And then we would pass in what, on close, that is mandatory. And we would say what, void like this. Then you will pass in what, children, and then the children is going to be, so the children is going to be what, react dot react node like this. Alright, then right after doing that, let's make sure that our component basically recognizes this. So we say what, react dot fc, then we pass in what, modal props like this, all right, nice one. So right after doing this, what we want to see is what is open, then we see on close, then children like this. All right, then now we should basically be able to receive the props inside here like we specified. Okay, so basically the reason why you're still getting the error is we can just come in here and say div. So we can come and create like this div, and then this div receives a p tag that says what, sample modal like this. Then we can now come and pass in a class name of what, a class name of bg white, and padding 5 like this. And that is going to be a sample, that is going to be our sample modal, and that is what we are basically going to be seeing on the page right here. So right after doing this, what we want to do is we want to enter the model like this, and then we want to come and then pass in a few things. All right, so let us first of all start by removing this, and then we bring in our brackets here like this. Then we start by passing in a transition dot root like this. So transition dot root like this. Then inside here, what we want to say is we want to basically say what is show prop, or show prop, sorry, show prop like this. Then we pass in what is open like this. All right, then right after setting that up, we want to come and say that this is going to have to be received as a fragment. Alright, so the fragment we are going to have to import from React like this. Alright, so right after doing this, you want to come inside here, and then we want to create this dialog right here, and then we are going to also import the dialog like this from headless UI slash React. And then what we are going to do is we are going to have to close it up like this. Alright, then we will say what as div. We want to specify that we want it to be as a div. We pass in class names, we pass in some class names. So it's going to be relative, it's going to be relative z50 like this. Okay, relative z50 like this. Then we have what an onclose right here, and then we pass in what onclose like this. Alright, nice and clean like this. So right after setting this up, we want to come inside this dialog right here, and then we are going to create a transition dot child like this. So transition dot, okay, I think I saw something here, transition child. Oh, so there's actually a transition child instead, but okay, I've not tried to use it, so I don't know. Maybe you can try, you can try to like test it out or anything. Like once you're done doing, because I can see that this is actually deprecated and everything, but like since I've not used it like with the transition child, and the other time I tried checking the docs to see, but I just wasn't seeing it inside. So I mean, maybe it's just me that I've not seen it, but you know, if they haven't put it inside the docs, they should make sure that they put it in, because you know that's like one of our main sources of information. uh but yeah, let's just continue with our traditional way. So we have a transition child here, and inside this transition child, what we want to do is we want to come and then pass in a few props here. So we'll say a few attributes, and so we'll say here is going to be what fragment. So fragment, nicely taken from React. Then we choose our enter. So we say what enter. Then we are going to say ease out duration 300. And okay, yes, then it is here like this. Then we enter from, nicely done. Then we are going to, with that one, I'm going to set the opacity to 0 like this. Alright, then over here we are going to say what enter 2. Then inside the enter 2 we set the opacity to 100 like this, and right under here we see what leave, and this leave that we have here would be an ease in like this, and then we set the duration to 200 like this, nice and clean. So right after doing this, we'll see what leave from. So this leave from is going to be what an opacity of 100 like this, and then leave to is going to be the opacity of what 0 like this. So leave to is going to be the opacity of 0 like this. Now you realize that there's a trend going on from here. The enter from and enter to are the same, and the enter to and enter and leave from are the same like this. So you can basically just copy it over and like just switch the positions of them, and you're going to see this trend in the subsequent things that we are about to do right here. So inside this transition child that we have, what we want to do is we want to create a div, and then inside this div we want to say that we want to make it a self-closing tag basically. So we just clean this up, and then we come here and then we pass it inside like this. And then for the class name, we'll make sure that we set it to what fixed, right? We set it to fixed, and we are going to say what insert 0 like this, bg gray 500 like this, and then bg opacity, sorry, yeah, so bg opacity to be what, 75, bg opacity to be 75 like this. Okay, and then we see what, transition opacity, of, so transition opacity like this. Okay, so maybe in case this is starting to look a little too long for you, we can try to reformat this down like this. So we can try to reformat it down like this. Okay, nice and clean like this. Okay, nice one. So right after doing this that we have right here, what do we want to do? What we want to quickly do is we want to come below this transition child right here. So we see what, div like this, right? Then we'll say class name. So we say class name should be what, fixed insert 0 z10 overflow y auto like this, and then this should basically help us center our model. Okay, so right after creating this div, we would come here and we should be able to, okay, I don't know why it's not true here, like it has to always be set to true so that we can see. Okay, so let's manually set it to true like this, and then make this one false. So make this false like this, right? Okay, all right. All right, so yeah, so let's keep working. All right, so now that we have this bad boy right here, what we're going to do is we're going to create this div. All right, we're going to create this div right here. Then we are going to say what, class name, and then this class name, this inside here we are going to pass this these class names, right? So you're going to see what we want it to be flex, right? Then we see min height, so min height full like this. Then we see item center like this. We see justify center like this. Then p4 like this. Then we have text center. Then what, sm, so on small screens we want the padding to be set to 0 like this. All right, then right after setting this up, what we want to do is we want to come inside this div right here and then create another transition child. All right, so transition child like this. All right, so transition child like this, and then inside this transition child that we have right here, I'll just say what, as, then fragment. So we pass it in as a fragment, as you can see over here. Then we're about to do what we did before, almost the same thing. So for that, what we're going to do is what, enter, and then inside the enter you're going to say ease out. So ease out duration 300. All right, and then we come and then we'll say what, enter from. So we'll say enter from Then inside we set the opacity to be 0. Set the opacity to be 0. We say translate. So we say translate y to be what? 4. Translate y to be 4. On small screens, we want to translate y to be 0. So translate y to be 0. Then let's see what scale should be 95, like this. Okay, all right. So now that we have been able to set this up, what we are quickly going to do is we just have to copy this over, paste it like this, and then we just say what, enter 2, like this. Then we just have to set the opacity to 100, like this. Then we set the translate y to 0, like this. Then what we are going to do is we are going to take out this one right here. Okay, then we would quickly say that what we wanted to scale to 100. All right, so right after doing that, what we want to do is we want to quickly come and copy this, come and paste it here like this. Then we see what, leave. So leave. So for the leave property, what we'll do is we change the ease out to ease in, like this, and then we change the duration to 200, like that. Then right after, what we are going to do is like exactly what I mentioned to you before. All we need to do is copy both of these bad boys right here, come and paste them, and then we just switch the positions like this. So what we are going to do is this is basically going to come above, and we are going to just change it to what, to leave from, and then what, leave to. Nice and clean, like this. All right, so now that we have these bad boys showing, these bad boys here, basically, I guess we can move on. So inside here, what we want to do is we want to now create this dialog panel. Okay, so this dialog panel we want to create, so it's going to be what, dialog. So dialog dot panel, like this. Then we open it up, then we see what, class name. Sorry, so this class name is going to be inside like an attribute. So we see what, class name, like this. Then relative transform overflow heading rounded LG and BG white, rounded LG BG white. Then we pass in what, px4, py4, pb4 instead. Then what, we say text left shadow xl, shadow xl, transition or, then w full, sm. So on small screens we want to say what, sm. Then we set my to be 8. Come down, set sm again to be w full, like this, right? Then we come down again, and then we see sm. Then we set it to what, max width lg. So max width lg like this. All right, then the last one is we're going to say sm, then we set it to what, p6 like this. All right, so right after setting this up, the next few things that we are going to be working on is we're going to quickly come here like this. We're going to come here like this, and then we're going to create this div. Okay, I want us to create this div right here. Okay, so as you can see, we are starting to see the panel here like this, but I don't know, I feel like the background is supposed to be gray, like how we set it somewhere around. Yeah, we were supposed to set it to be gray, so yeah, bg gray right here. That is why I wasn't seeing the difference, but you can see that it has been set nice and clean over here. All right, so right after doing that, we want to quickly come inside this div right here, and I want to give it a class name like this. Oh, class name like this. Then inside we pass in a few properties, and that is what, so we say absolute, so we say absolute, then we give it what, right 0, then we give it top 0, then we give it what, hidden right 0, top 0, hidden, then we pass in what, pr, then so padding right we set that to 4, then padding top we set that to 4 as well. Then we say what, on small screens show it like on small screen show it, so we say what, block, and what, z10 like this. All right, so we have these set of class names set for the button, and then what button are we trying to pass in here? We are quickly going to say that we want to pass in what, a button. So I'll come here, and this is basically the close button that we have inside our profile drawer. So let's not waste too much time, we can just come here and pick it up right around here like this. So I can just copy this real quick, make sure you copy it to the right. So button like this, right, copy it like this, then you come here inside this div, you come and paste it like this. Then you should see that we have, okay, we should see that we have the close button. It will show over there. All right, then right after putting the button in there, what we want to do is we want to come here and just add like some class names, right, to just, you know, determine the size type of situation, but like in a different way. So we say what, h, so we say h6 right here, and then we give it what, width 6 as well. Okay, so we need to refresh. Let me quickly close it and try to refresh manually so that we see the changes. All right, so right under this div right here, yeah, we also need to import this io close as well. So we import it from io5. Okay, if we are, I can see that our snippet isn't loading, so okay, it just came, but I'm already inside the profile drawer, so let me just, you know, I might as well just import it myself type of situation. So yeah, I'll just come and paste, and I'll just have to remove the io trash right here. like this. All right, so right after importing it like this, okay, it's still trying to load. Let me manually refresh. It's like this. So yeah, then all we have to do is we need to come under this div right below the button here. Then we pass in the children props. So this is where we are going to be passing in uh, our custom UI, and basically the custom modals where we want to put in our own custom content inside our modals. We just put it in through the children, right? So that is where uh so that is where us opening up this modal right here would make sense. All right, so it just refreshed, and we should be able to see that the modal shows here with a sample modal like this. And what we are going to do is, this has been set to true, let us change it and make it what confirm open like this. Alright, so confirm open, we just set it to confirm open like this. I just manually saved it like this, and then yeah, that should basically be it. It has been set to false. So in case we want to test this, let me quickly maximize the screen right here. So I can just click on this, then I'll click on the delete button here, then it opens up. I can close it by clicking on the X. I can open it right here, close it right there like that. And in case you want to understand how that is working, it is clearly because we have the set confirm open on the trash icon right here. So we just say that whenever we click on the trash icon, which is here, and we reduce the terminal. So whenever we click on the trash icon, which is here, so click on it, we want to set them confirm open to true, and once the state now becomes true for is open, it is going to show our modal right here like this. So that is basically it for the modal UI, and then in the next one we are going to be working on the contents that is going to allow us to delete whatever we have to delete over here. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next video.